Magnificent. Please welcome back Kristen Bauer.
Hi.
Hey.
Emily, when I was supposed to be sleeping last night, I was Googling RVs.
Oh, I think she's frozen.
I think she's frozen.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Can you not hear me? Okay. Shoot.
Okay, I think our producers are probably going to... I tell you what, shoot, maybe if you bounce her, and I'll ask our producers to contact her, to have her just relog back in. That usually fixes it. Well, like I said, she is on the road, so yeah. So
you can only have 2 guests at a time, it looks like.
Oh, no.
One of us gets booted out.
Absolutely not, because our next guest is an actress and filmmaker whose body of work includes House, How I Met Your Mother, Batman Hush, and the award-winning film Sundogs. Today, she joins us to discuss the role of Emma Swan in Once Upon a Time. Please welcome back to the GalaxyCon virtual stage, Jennifer Morrison.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome back. It's always good to see you again.
It's good to be here. I love doing this. I feel like I get to see people. I feel like I suddenly have community when this happens.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, our lost lamb, I'm sure we brought back, but I'll tell you what.
No pun intended.
Yeah. As our team right now is pulling the questions out of the chat room. Last time I had most of you all here, I got to hear the stories about how this journey brought you to your roles on Once Upon a Time. But Robbie, you are a newcomer. I would love for our audience to hear how Peter Pan began for you.
Yay, we got her.
Hey. Yeah, so I mean, I just had a request for an audition. I lived in Texas at the time, so I taped. So it was just a regular audition tape. And the week after I had that tape, I was supposed to go to London to get my passport renewed. And, they called back a couple of days later and said, hey, we want you to come to LA to meet the director, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I can't go to LA because we've already got our flights booked, got to get our passports renewed, blah, blah, blah. So we ended up doing a Skype audition, one of the first ones I ever did. And this was back in 2013. So I took a transatlantic flight, red-eye, to London, got there around like 10, 11 a.m., absolutely knackered, slept for a couple of hours, and then woke up and hopped on Skype and did this audition. I felt like an absolute wreck. Just did the audition, went pretty well, but we weren't sure. The problem was, once you hand your passports in, you don't get them back for like 10 days. And the turnaround on this role was really quick. And I woke up...
Kristen can tell you all about that.
Jennifer, right? We've all had the sleepless passport travel story.
It's mad. And then I woke up the next morning, and just as we were about to go to the office, they called and said that I got the role. So I was about 2 hours away from not being able to do the role because of a bloody passport situation. So We were very lucky. We ended up not handing the passport in, flying out to Canada and doing all of that stuff later. So very lucky.
Indeed. It's not very often that art can actually trump bureaucracy. So kudos on you.
Yeah, look at that.
So this was absolutely one of the most unique versions of Peter Pan we have ever seen, turning him into this creature of malevolence, which I'd always heard repeatedly, as you're a kid, you root for Peter Pan, but when you're a grown-up, sometimes you actually do root for Captain Hook. Did they sort of lay out the design of the character for you at the time, or was it just as the scripts came?
Honestly, there wasn't much to go on. They pretty much, it was obvious that the character was going to be evil and kind of the bad guy for the first half of season 3, that arc. But yeah, we only got the scripts like a week before the next episode. So we were kind of running blind a little bit in terms of the direction of the characters, and a lot of that stuff changes on the fly. So even if they had a vision of what was going to happen, they didn't tell us. Well, they didn't tell me. So, but yeah, it was really fun. It was kind of part of the allure of the character was not really knowing what was going on next. So.
I'm just going to jump on Robbie for a second and say, he was such an impressive young actor. Truly, we obviously were very lucky because the cast as a whole was a very committed cast who all really took it seriously and all wanted to do great work. But I mean, Robbie is sort of blessed with this like eternal youth situation with his face. And I don't know how old you were when you showed up, but he looked about 12. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He looks right for Peter Pan. And we started doing the scene and I was like, whoa, like he was so present. He had such an intensity. He had so much going on. There clearly was so much homework behind the work. And it's so unusual when you've got such a young face in front of you that someone is bringing that to the role. Just with such like weight and integrity and work. And I was just like, I mean, I've probably never said this to you before, but I was really blown away. And it was really fun. That season was really fun, partially because I really enjoyed our scenes together.
Oh, it's really sweet of you to say. Thank you. It means a lot. It's really nice.
And that absolutely spilled over as a viewer to see you guys bounce off. Well, just again, it's always a pleasure to see all of you guys bounce off each other's characters. But when I heard Peter Pan was coming in, I was like, all right. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And the rest is definitely history. So our team has let us know we are good at audience questions. So I will ask Christina, our awesome producer, to roll our first one. And this is going to come from Zach, who wishes to know, did you relate to your character in any way?
Who's that for?
That's for everybody. So, yeah.
I mean, I'll be very quick about it so that we can go around the table here. I think the thing I related to in Emma the most is just that she had a real determination to try to figure out what the right path forward was, even if it was a hard path. And I like to think that I try to approach my life that way.
Absolutely fair. So, Robbie, how about you? You were a kid playing an eternal kid.
Yeah, I mean, I hope I didn't relate too much to that character because he was an absolute bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose in the sense of escapism and kind of wanting to go to your own place, that was kind of relatable. I think everyone, has struggles in their life and they like to go away and kind of forget all their troubles. So I guess there was part of that. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, like I said, every episode was a new thing that I had to kind of learn about the character. It wasn't until episode 3 where they said, oh, and by the way, you're Rumpelstiltskin's father. So there was that to contend with. So I think it was actually quite far away from me as a person.
By the way,
best father-in-law I've ever had is
speaking of, Emily, how about you? Relate to your...
I guess I relate to the inherent need to, not as drastically as Belle, thank goodness, but to help and to fix things with other people.
Sure.
And I think that Belle did that majorly to her own detriment instead of looking at herself and trying to just be a stronger, better individual on her own. So, yeah, I relate to that.
Absolutely. And Kristen, bring us home.
No pressure. So, I've been reflecting on this. So, I guess as an actress, I always sort of look at it when I see the role and think, okay, what do I have in me and what do I have to make up? What can I borrow and what can I have to use my imagination. And so I always wished in my own life that I was tougher. I tend to be on the vulnerable fixer side. And but what I do appreciate with the way that the roles I've gotten to play, and especially Maleficent, is that she seems unredeemable, but then we find out the reason why. And that multi-layered gray area, I think, is so everybody, it's just one thing. So, parts I can relate to. I certainly never laid an egg or had it stolen.
To know, I was always curious about.
It was a funny scene to shoot because the egg was like this big, and I'm like, is there a line we could put or something on the bottom of the screen that came out of me when I was in drag?
It's just so funny. I was going to get your advice about egg laying today. I'm so bummed to find out
That's a
this is
disappointment.
not a method situation.
I got nothing for you.
Zach, that was a great one to start us off with, and we've learned quite a bit deal about egg laying. Very good. So, what do we have next? And this one's from Erich. What is your favorite memory of filming the show?
Shall we go backwards?
If you want to popcorn it, or I'll pick someone.
So what flashed into my mind immediately was just laughing. Like, I love all those times when you're on the set and you're probably just deliriously tired and something will strike you funny. Mm-hmm. And they're so hard to explain if you weren't there, but I just went through so many. I told one last time, and one that popped into my head was Victoria as Cruella. She had that amazing car. And we're parked out in some gorgeous mountain road in this Canada forest, and it's foggy and it's beautiful. And she's got to pull up and hit a mark and screech into it and then jump out of the car. And something happened where she couldn't get the door open, and then her coat got caught. And so anyone else would be like, hey, let me just start over. But she then climbed out the window, but the coat was caught, so she had to disrobe while climbing out the window and still ran over to us and hit her mark and set her line. It was just such a fabulous Three Stooges moment, and I loved all the laughter on the set. It's one thing I really miss about the times we're in as well, is I find I'm just not laughing as much.
Yeah. Oh, so true.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Yeah,
well, but it's true too, because it's like because there are so many things that are so intense. Even if there is something that could or would be funny, sometimes you don't even feel permission, And I think that's like a tricky thing, like culturally, we're all trying to figure out now. Is like,
right.
I think there needs to be. We have to figure out as like humans how to find the moments of levity in order to recover, to handle the grief, in order to handle the hard times, to handle the intensity of things. It's like, it's a really tricky thing when you don't feel permission to find joy, Sorry, that's a really deep dive after that.
No.
It's too early for this, Jen. Come on.
Sorry. No, but it's true. I find myself struggling with that, Like, I find myself like suddenly being very serious, and I'm like, I don't think I'm not usually this serious of a person. Like, this is uncomfortable,
I feel like it's a really good subject, and yes, a very long conversation, but oh my God, none of us are around peers, It's not that group energy, not even a big group, but just group energy.
Yeah.
You want to entertain people, you want to make people laugh, it's that whole back and forth energetic stuff. I really am missing. Mental health is so important, and that part is like, what do we do to fill that void? I mean, that's why I love this. I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like second best.
It is.
And absolutely, to let our audience know, not all shows are allowed jovial fun. They don't really allow those little moments.
Yeah,
it's really nice when a cast is comfortable enough with each other and with the directors and the runners that it creates an atmosphere where it's okay to make these memories.
Yeah.
And be able to share them with us. So, Erich, thank you. That was a very good one. What do we have next? From Ryan. What is it filming with a green screen like? And
I got a good one for this.
Oh, I bet you do. Because it wasn't necessarily green screens all the time. It was some other stuff, I believe. I
spent a lot of time on that stage because of the scenes that I had to do. There was one just ridiculous moment where I went outside of my body and I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life? And that was when I had this
to every day of 6 years of my life.
I was doing a scene with like the ghost of Peter Pan's ghost, or my shadow.
Yeah.
And obviously it was voiceover. It was like CGI. So instead of acting with another person, we had our first AD, Rob, holding up a 2x4, like duct tape with green tape, and he was just waving it around, like running around the stage, just like full of green. And he was like, you know, like all of this, and then the camera was going, and I had to deliver my lines, and it was all really serious and really like, it's supposed that it should have had weight to it, and it was just like the most ridiculous thing. I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This guy is just waving a wooden plank around, and I'm supposed to act against like basically a
I can't remember what the episode was, but there was also, I don't know if it was your season, Robbie, or not, but there was like did we chase an ogre at some point? I'm sure we did, right? Like, I mean, I know it all blends together now.
There was that Yawagwai thing, and then there was an ogre.
that wasn't my season.
Yeah.
Because similar to Robbie's story, I think it was Rob, maybe Morgan. God bless our first ADs. These are like not in their job description, and they're doing this just to try to make it better for us.
They were
There
great.
was like a giant popsicle stick with like a sketched ogre head, and just running around. And I was like, I am trying to save the world here, guys. Like, I would rather look at nothing than like the giant popsicle ogre that's like being dragged around right
So
now.
distracting.
It's just like, I don't know what to do with this.
It is weird. It's weird because it's like Vegas too, right? There's no time. It's just
Totally.
right,
Because that stage does feel, that's a great analogy.
right.
On that
Yeah.
stage, and that
Right.
you're awake because it's either blue or green, and you're like, I have no idea what
There's
to
no
do.
depth perception either, so you don't know where the wall is.
Yeah.
Right.
We had
Yeah.
that
Weird.
when I
I wish
turned.
we were pumping oxygen in the way they do in Vegas, though. That would have been nice.
I know. I was gonna. I almost just said it. Even feels like there's a lack of oxygen in there.
Yeah.
It probably is, but it is.
Well, we also would always have all that like atmospheric smoke being pumped in, and they would open, occasionally open those big doors and let it out. But that accumulates pretty aggressively, and when you're like racing against time and they don't want to stop to open the doors because it takes too much time, there was probably longer stretches that we were breathing dense atmospheric smoke.
I always wonder if that's going to give us any permanent damage down the road.
I actually know the research.
Really? Is it good or
It
bad?
might only take a year off our life. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine then.
I did.
Right.
I didn't really do that much green screen stuff. I remember doing a little bit here and there in the castle, but that stuff was relatively easy. I would just put candlesticks not on the table, and it'd be like, you gotta, whatever.
Yeah.
That was all right. I did have a popsicle stick story though. Mine was the bear when and it was all outside, and it was running from the bear. I don't know what episode that was, but it had a bear. They had gone. They'd actually like cut out a picture, like a photograph of a bear head.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it on a thing, and I think it was Rob doing it this time.
These guys.
So it wasn't just me.
No,
I thought it was just
no.
me this whole time. How many times have they done this?
Listen, none of us had to ride the giant pickle like Josh did. So listen, we got off easy. I actually do have a good green screen story though too. When the giant grabs me and picks me up, they put me in a green intertube. So I was, like in a giant green inner tube that was suspended from the air. So I just hung from like a giant green inner tube for like hours, and then they'd be like, he's squeezing tighter, and I'd be like, and it really like the inner tube was the giant's finger in the actual thing. But yeah, I spent a lot of time hanging in a giant green inner tube,
Oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
flailing, lots of flailing.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Ryan, thank you very much. That was a great one. We learned a lot about working with popsicle sticks. Sir Person Unknown, if you could go to Storybrooke for a day, what would you do?
Probably grab Bracky at Granny's Diner, go for a walk along the boardwalk.
I'd
Try and fix
probably
everyone's problems.
probably make a U-turn and get the hell out of there. There's too much drama going on. I'd be like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah. It's hard to try to imagine that not the way we imagine that. Like our experiences of Storybrooke were like either freezing in a forest or chasing popsicle sticks or like ordering fish and chips with the great fish and chips place before they closed because we were going to work all night. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe what Robbie said, Storybrooke is full of a lot of dangerous drama.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't know how long I'd want to stick around for whatever monster was coming through a portal,
Yeah, and when, it's a tricky place to visit.
I only went there a couple of times to shoot, and so in my mind, I'm like, well, I go back to that little antique store that I bought those cranes that I have right over there from, like, Lana and I were shopping between scenes, and it was, and I was in that amazing like 40s outfit, and because I didn't have much Storybrooke story, so yeah, I'd go shopping.
Fair enough.
That's absolutely fair. Well, person unknown, or perhaps may have been a representative of the Storybrooke Board of Tourism. Thank you for that question. What do we have next? From Abigail. I will rephrase this. Did you guys happen to acquire, through unknown means, anything from the set?
I acquired. No, I was given one of the teacups, the chipped teacups.
Yeah.
That I have up on my mantle, and I have and then Eduardo gave me the wedding, not the first gold dress I wore, but the wedding, the more like elaborate, big gold giant dress, and these like crazy heels. All my heels were like this. Dude, I can't do that anymore. I was like running through the forest in these. I don't know how I did that.
I literally forgot how short you were because we only saw you in like 8-inch heels. And then one day I saw you in your Uggs, and I was like, what happened to the rest of you?
I have my wedding band because there was 2 of them. That was given too. I don't think I took anything. I mean, maybe probably ended up with some socks and bras or something by proxy, but I think that's my stash.
No, that's fair. Emily, is that a Bigfoot shirt you're wearing?
It is a Bigfoot shirt that I'm wearing from Coos Bay, Oregon.
That's amazing.
Vera, my daughter, she's obsessed with finding him. She's like, but if no one's seen him, I'm gonna be the first. So she's asked me.
Wow, on a mission.
Your kids are so cute, by the way. My God, they're so cute. Oh, man.
Yeah, they're all right.
Who else?
Good babies.
Anybody else have a memento from your time on the set?
No, I can remember.
When Emily said that, it made me realize I've told so many people this before, so it's like a boring answer, but they did give me a Dark Swan dagger, which I don't know where it is. So either someone stole it or someone has a Dark Swan dagger and they have no idea what it is, or it's somewhere in my basement. But when I find it, I'm going to frame it. But I did also, I forgot that Eduardo had we went through a lot of iterations of figuring out like what Dark Swan looked like, because we were like inventing this person that didn't exist in any fairy tale mythology yet. And we knew we liked that leather jacket with the black tight pants kind of deal that we ended up with, but we were kind of playing with whether or not she was always in that or if there was like other things, and ultimately it just felt better to like keep her in the one thing. But there was a moment where she had this great jacket that was like very 40s inspired, and Eduardo of course had made the most fabulous black jacket of all time, and I think I wore it for one scene, and we either didn't use the scene or reshot the scene, I can't remember, but I ended up with the jacket. So I mean, I need a real like moment to wear this because it is not like an everyday jacket. But it's beautiful, and it's, so I do have that.
Nice. Kristen, you acquire anything from the set? Or maybe, if not this, then maybe you have something off True Blood or one of your other sets?
So, yeah, I'm thinking about, so from Once Upon a Time, I took the unicorn, the pony that I worked with in the first episode. He's somewhere around here. No, I didn't really, when I think back on my That's like, I had the green screen, and then there was a pony and a throne. Can you imagine me trying
What's
to
the pony?
throne?
What's the pony that you
I
had?
remember the pony. It was my first episode. It was sort of traumatic for me as an animal rights person, but it was fine. But it was a unicorn that I had. So it was a pony dyed black, and they stuck a horn on it. And the poor thing was like,
Can you dye a pony black and have that be okay?
yeah, so it was really very temporary,
Yeah.
because when I was petting the pony, my hand would turn black.
Oh my god.
So, and you know, from Wisconsin, we all want ponies when we're kids. I guess this is a thing, and your parents buy you a pony. We all had a pony, and then, 9 months later, where does the pony go? So I was like, well, I guess it has a life because it has a job, and they'll keep it. So I think the pony was fine. I couldn't sneak out the pony. I couldn't sneak out the throne. True Blood, I did have, I got a couple of outfits, but again, it is hard to know when to rock that. Like, I got a black corset. I got a black leather jacket that has spikes all down the shoulders and the sleeves.
Whoa. That sounds like Halloween all over it, right?
Yeah, totally, right? Like, maybe loan it to someone who wants to be Pam for Halloween. So it's really cool, and I'll keep it forever. But I don't know if it would just be something I find in my closet every 5 years. I'm cleaning up my closet right now and go, oh, wow, yeah.
That
A
thing.
little
Yeah.
impromptu photo shoot with it. Just
So, I should. It's an Instagram post for sure, right?
Yes.
Oh yes.
yeah.
Please.
I know.
Please.
Vera keeps asking me. She's like, "Why is it in a box? It's in a nasty." She's like, "It's in a nasty Tupperware. The big dress. Why
It's
do
in a
you wear it?
nasty
Oh, I'm gonna pick up. It's mine. I would wear it all the time."
And she'll get to that age where she could play in it, right? And be in it, like, I don't know, 12 or whatever. I don't know.
Huge. This dress is like, but
Is
yeah,
it huge?
it's so big. This massive petticoat thing, and it was
So
to the
petty.
floor when I had the 1,200-inch heels on. But
I
one day,
did a lot of that for charity. Like, at a certain point, I did get rid of a lot of stuff because I don't know what to do with it, But you keep some of it. It's like your wedding dress. I guess you just keep it hermetically sealed.
Well, if and when any of you do social media posts with these trinkets, please tag us in it, and we will gladly reshare it.
okay.
Good idea.
Awesome. And Abigail, thank you. That was a great one. And what do we have next? From Christy, what other fandom would you like to see have a crossover with Once Upon a Time?
Star Wars.
Yes, that's what I always say. Agreed.
Let's get those lightsabers in here.
There's a whole
Agreed.
world to explore with that. There's so
Oh,
much.
man. Yeah, no one can top that answer.
Done.
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 Christy, boom! Yeah, what's that?
Nailed it.
Thank you, Ellen. What relationship in the story did you appreciate the most from Person Unknown?
Why are there so many unknown people asking questions today?
When you come into our chat room, you sort of pick your own handle because our chat rooms are unique, and I think you can just opt not to have one, just have one in there. So
Gotcha.
Oh, it just seems so mysterious.
I know.
What relationship do you
Um,
I mean, I guess from my perspective, a lot of my scenes were with Bobby. So I mean, I guess once I wrapped my head around the fact that I was his dad, I guess that would be the one that I appreciate the most, just because I really enjoyed my scenes with him. I felt that the dialogue in those scenes, and there was a lot going on underneath, and we had a lot of fun kind of figuring out what it all meant. So I would probably say that.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
I really enjoyed exploring the scenes with Michael Raymond James. I mean, I feel like I could say this literally about every character, including everyone on the screen right now. I try to come up with new stories every time we all talk about this stuff. But MRJ, like, first of all, is a super complicated character. He's like the father of Henry, and yet caused a lot of pain and heartache in Emma's life, but also brought a lot of joy to Emma's life. So I felt like there was always like a real complexity to that dynamic that you don't see that often on a show like this. So I felt like it was really fun to kind of dive into how complicated their relationship was and how much love there was there despite how much pain there was there. And also, I mean, MRJ just like, talk about laughing, Kristen. I mean, I don't envy the editors when they would get like our scenes because I mean I was mostly just like crying from laughing in between every take. I don't even remember what he was saying. I just know that like I couldn't get through anything without cracking up.
Yeah, he's I didn't get to do any scenes with him on Shuba, but I would see him at conventions and promo stuff, and oh my lord, he's just so incredible and unique and funny, and
yeah. At one point, he was like, he went to Crafty a lot. You know, he'd go to get food, and he'd always be like, "Do you need anything, Morrison? Do you need anything, Morrison?" And I'd usually be like, "No." And one day I was like, "I don't know, sure, some fruit." He's like, "Well, what kind of fruit?" I was like, "I don't know, like good-looking fruit." And then, like from that point on, he's like, "I'm getting Morrison some good-looking fruit." You know, like it was always like, I mean, to this day when I see him, he's like, "Would you like some good-looking fruit?" You know.
That sounds like
He's able to bring joy to a room like that. He's one of those guys.
Yeah. And
when we go back in business and return to our physical conventions, I will make sure that our green rooms are stocked with good-looking fruit for you.
Not bad-looking fruit.
Not bad-looking fruit. Good-looking fruit.
I mean,
I do think he came back and I worked good-looking fruit. I'm sorry. I think he like came back a couple minutes later and was like, "What exactly is good-looking fruit?" I was like, "I don't know. Just like something that looks."
What did he bring you though?
I think he brought me some good-looking fruit.
Yeah, there's good-looking fruit and bad-looking fruit. We all know it. And Crafty is so mauled over and picked over. You're like, grapes look a little funky, or whatever. You kind of want to eat stuff that you peel. Crafty is a whole art.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry, Emily. You were starting to talk. I didn't mean to interrupt.
We have a new panelist, Robbie. Who's joining us?
My little kitty.
So cute.
Oh, really?
He's like saying hi.
Oh, really?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we got this little guy about 6 months ago.
How great!
Oh, look, another one.
Hey, a friend, Thomas.
Yeah, look.
Oh, Gabby.
Yes. She's a diva and she knows it.
Where are mine? I have 6. Where are they?
You have 6?
They all
You have
hide.
6 cats?
Mine's somewhere. I think mine's in. We have bunk beds in the RV, and I think Stanley likes to just hide in Theo's bunk bed. It's really cute.
Aww.
But to answer the question, as far as relationships, I mean, I worked probably 99% of my stuff was just with Bobby, and it was great. I loved their super complex, up and down, all over the place, dramatic as hell relationship. It was fun. Kept it interesting. Every day there was always something going on, and to be able to work with someone who was so giving in every way made it great.
Yeah.
But I loved watching like you and MRJ, like the family dynamics, like you and Jenny and Josh, and just the family stuff was always fun for me to watch on the sidelines because it was so it was so normal, but dealing with these fairy tale land problems.
Right.
It was a nice sort of.
I felt the same way about you and Bobby though, because I feel like we didn't cross over very often. I mean, I don't even know if Belle and Emma like spoke
I feel like
much.
I feel like most of my. It was rare. I mean, Robbie, you and me, and Kristen. Yeah, none of was mainly like group stuff that I'd be.
Yeah, but it was fun because for me, I was like a real audience for your guys' stuff, and then for you, you could be like a real audience for us because we weren't there to see it filmed. You know,
maybe that's why it was too, because it.
Yeah,
felt like
I felt that way about you guys. I was like, man, they're so good together. This is such a great, complicated relationship.
Part of the fun of the show is reading the scenes in the script and going, I can't wait to see how that turns out. And then you watch the episode and you're like, oh wow, cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I say, Kristen, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, my stuff was mainly with Lana, and we had a ball. You know, it's always fun as a character to get your backstory, and we had a few days of just 2 people talking back and forth, you know, for 14 hours, which is also nice. It's not interrupted by a stunt or special effects. And and it was really fun. We had a great time. Yeah, I loved everything about that relationship.
Awesome. Person unknown, thank you so much for that. And a reminder to our audience, if you would like to chat with our panelists like I am now or purchase a personalized autograph, please sign up at galaxycon.com. We have time for a few more questions, so let's roll another. And this comes from Ana Luca or Ana Lucia. I apologize for my pronunciation. If you weren't actors, what would you be doing?
I always wanted to study politics and international relations at university, and that was kind of what I was going to do before I took a gap year. So I'd probably do something relating with that. Maybe be a diplomat, travel.
Fair.
Nice. Oh. Anything travel related, I would say, because I love traveling.
Yeah.
Fair. Absolutely.
I went to school for painting. I've been going to school for that forever. I painted, that.
Oh, wow. Can we see it closer, or is that going to mess up your setup?
Let's see. This is my dyslexia is kicking in. How do I? Oh my God, this is a really hilarious.
You got it.
Oh,
wow, look at that.
Wow, that's incredible.
That is.
Whoa.
How do I get it? Here. Wait. Oh, I got it. I figured it out. Sort of. So.
That's so beautiful.
It's really
So I've been getting to do a little more of that with COVID, and so it was an English painting major, and I've been doing both forever. And I love animal stuff and travel. I do a lot of try to do a lot of stuff with Africa. So. Gosh, I really kind of don't want to act anymore, to be honest. I want to just paint and write and go to Africa. I don't. When I see auditions come in and stuff, my first response is like, oh God, I just really. I hear the alarm go off at 3:30 again, and I don't know. I just want to do other stuff now. I want to do what I started out doing, and then fell in love with the group dynamic of being on a set. And I know I'm addicted to that set life, so I can't kick it. But I'd like to do that less than that. Where is it?
That's amazing. If you ever are interested in selling anything, let me know, because that's gorgeous.
I would love to see an exhibit of your work. That's fantastic.
Thank you. I would too. And they take a bit of time, each one, so I'm working on it now. Headed towards exhibiting. Yeah.
You
That's
should.
awesome.
Please do, because
when you do, let us know so we can post about it and promote it, and don't be shy. That's incredible.
Thank you. I will. Thank you. That's super nice.
do it. Seriously.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Next time you join us here at GalaxyCon, as if you'd like, scan some of your pictures and make them into prints, and we'd love to sell those along with your autographed pictures.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
great.
cool.
And if you like, maybe we could do it. Make it a charity thing.
Yeah, great. I did a couple paintings that I auctioned for charity of True Blood characters. It was really fun. I love doing that. So thank you.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Wow. So we have one person in the diplomatic corps and one artist. Who else would be doing what?
Well, I would say directing, but I am directing, so I don't know if that counts.
You are.
It does.
No, it does, and we've spoken before.
Yeah.
You've really rebased it. And again, someday I hope we can do a one-on-one where we can really talk about your directing stuff and film stuff like that. But speaking of which, is there anything you've been watching lately from a director's eye that's been inspiring to you?
Yeah, I just started watching Lovecraft, which I think is really I've only seen the pilot, but I think the pilot is really beautifully crafted. It's just it's beautifully shot, and it's really carefully designed, and I just get excited when I see television shows that have so much thought into the visual design, because you can't necessarily mimic that every single episode, but at least it's in the DNA of the show, and then you hope that when directors come in who can really do that, you get to have the fun of seeing something that's stunning. So I feel like that is the most recent thing on television that I was really blown away by. And then I saw this, I wish I could remember the filmmaker's name. I'm really, really bad with names, so I feel badly that I always do this. But there's a film called Beanpole that I think he's a Russian director. And he studied under the guy who did the movie that was all in one take, like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He studied under that director. And it's a really just like powerful, complicated story about these two women who, the one woman sort of loves the other woman, but the other woman's just her friend, and like the men that come in and out of their lives, and like the one woman raises the other woman's child. And I mean, it sounds super heavy, but there's like really interesting moments of levity in it. There's also just the complexities that come with female friendship and female love, and it's just really, really like beautifully shot. So that's something that like stands out recently as like an interesting film.
Kantemir Balagov.
Yeah, I was about to say, I looked it up. Kantemir Balagov.
Yeah, well, no wonder I can't remember that name.
What's it called? Beanpole?
Beanpole. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a really beautiful film. Like, I'm excited to see what this filmmaker continues to create.
That's so cool.
Absolutely. Emily, what would you be doing if the actor's life had not been for you?
I don't know. I'd probably still be. So I was dancing ballet full time and started acting on a whim. Kind of. I was like, oh, I want to do this instead. When I was 17. So my whole thing was like, oh, if I don't get a job in a couple of months. It's like such a teenage thing. If this doesn't happen right away, I'll just do something. If I don't get a job in a couple of months, I'll just go back to the Australian ballet school that I just dropped out of to act for like whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I probably would have just gone back and be doing ballet, I assume, or maybe have reverted back to like childhood. It was always wanting to be a vet. My dad was a GP, and I don't know if that knowledge stemmed into it more or less. I was always kind of, and still am, apprehensive about Band-Aid doctors, as I'd call my dad. But you're a Band-Aid doctor. Aww. Western medicine, blah, blah, blah. It's great, but it's not. Anyway. But that, probably the knowledge base of that, and just being a huge animal lover, like we always had a lot of animals, and I'd always, if the chicken was starting to crack at the egg, I'd help it open it, which probably wasn't very helpful to a chicken, but, I thought it was. Anyway, so maybe I would have done that. I've still got weird fact about me, which will probably freak people out. I still have like weird things from like my dogs when I was little. If they had like it's not cute. They had like a cyst and it was like a drainage tube. I'd be taking care of it on. I'd keep the drainage tube and I'd write a little note saying what it was in a little bag. And
oh my god,
got like my old animal's teeth and.
Wow.
Oh, whoa.
I'm gonna say he's like, okay.
He's like, I'm out. I can't deal with this.
I have like cat whiskers from when I was little from my cats. Robbie's
crazy.
like,
I know. He's currently laying right in front of me. Look.
Oh my gosh.
He's chilling.
Don't worry. My dog does that. If I'm like typing too much, she just like, and obviously not on my desk, but if like I'm in bed and I'm like working, she'll just get on the keys and just be like, enough already.
Yeah, why are you paying attention to this weird object?
Right.
And why isn't it me?
Right.
That's the way. And she's back.
That's always a fun question, though. What would you do if you're different? Because it makes you think.
Good question.
It is.
Absolutely. Lucia, thank you so much. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been the cast of Once Upon a Time, and that was my time with them, but it doesn't have to be yours. If you'd like to chat with our guests or purchase an autograph, please head over to GalaxyCon.com, and while you're there, be sure to check out our schedule of upcoming events like this one. Gentlemen and ladies, any final words for our audience before we go?
Thanks for hanging out with us. And also,
Yeah.
it's so nice to see you guys. It's like been really nice getting to catch up.
I know, it's so great to see everyone. This has been great. Really, really good. Thank you guys so much for organizing this as well. GalaxyCon.
Yeah, thank you, GalaxyCon. Thank you guys for coming. And going back really quick to what Jen was saying earlier, like, thanks for the questions and thanks for you guys. You guys made my day. Like, I love my family and everything, but like smiling, laughing, reminiscing. This is the stuff that we all miss right now. So love you all.
Great.
Yes, agreed. Thank you guys.
No, you guys, 'cause I didn't get to work with you, so this is just lovely. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. It has been my pleasure to serve you here today at the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our audience for joining us today, and thank you for those great questions. Hope to see you again later in today. We'll be joined by the cast of Invader Zim, and tomorrow, October 4th, we'll have guests from Ruby and the Power Rangers. Until then, bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and please keep
Bye,
washing
guys.
those hands.
Bye.
Yes.